Hello my dear students, today we will see further discrete Fourier transform. Myself Dr. Nilesh Kumar Gupta, I am working as a professor at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College Ghaziabad in ECE department. So, earlier I presented my 2 video lectures on discrete Fourier transform, discrete Fourier transform part 1 and part 2. This lecture title is discrete Fourier transform part 3. Now, we will see further the properties of DFT, okay, because it is a transform. So, obviously, there will be some properties here, common properties like linearity, shifting, like time shifting, frequency shifting, convolution, correlation, Parseval theorem, conjugate and so on. So, last time I discussed about the some properties, initial properties, and in this lecture I will continue for another properties, okay, like circular frequency shift property. Earlier I discussed about the circular time shifting property, okay. Next, circular frequency shift property. It was what? If x of n is having DFT of capital X of k, so small x of n into e to the power j 2 pi small ln by n, and its DFT will be x of k minus l. So, you have to shift here, this is e to the power, it means this e to the power term shows the frequency shifting of signal time domain. So, that will show in its your frequency domain, that is capital X of k minus l. Mod of n means again what? It means what? K minus l with period of capital N, or n point DFT and IDFT you are taking here, that is fine. So, then for the all the properties, the first line is common, what? Ki that small x of n is having DFT of capital X k, and capital X of k is having the IDFT of small x of n. Then as per the circular frequency shift property, this property will be possible. So, what it says the circular frequency, when the sequence x of small x of n is multiplied by complex exponential sequence like e to the power j 2 pi ln by n. So, it is equivalent to circular shift of DFT by the L units in frequency term. If you are shifting here by the exponential term, so you will get your shift in its frequency domain by the same units here. Okay. Next is complex conjugate property. Again your first line is common, what? That your small x of n का DFT कैपिटल x k है और इसका IDFT स्मॉल x of n. तो क्या होगा? x of then as per the complex conjugate property x conjugate n का DFT होगा x conjugate minus k mod of n, or you can write x conjugate minus k with period of n. Now, you can prove this also, what? You can take x conjugate IDFT, you can take what? You know 1 upon n summation k 0 to n minus 1 x of conjugate k into e to the power j 2 pi k n by n. Then you can put the whole conjugate of the terms, then you will get x of, hence what? X of conjugate k, and you can prove this property here. Okay. So, what is property? If x of n is having DFT of capital X k, then x of conjugate n DFT will be x of conjugate minus of k with period of n, or reverse you can prove here like this. Okay. That here we are proving what? X of conjugate minus n DFT will be x of conjugate k. Okay. Now, next is circular convolution property. What it says? It says if you are having two sequences, one is small x 1 n and second is small x 2 n. So, small x of n DFT is capital X 1 k and a small x 2 n DFT is capital X 2 k. So, x 1 n circular convolution x 2 n का DFT होगा x 1 k into x 2 k. Okay. So, this is your circular convolution property. So, this is the circular convolution, always you prefer your circular convolution in DFT only. Normally you prefer linear convolution, but this is the convolution in DFT, that is called circular convolution. This formula is of circular convolution. What? This one. If I am writing this, so it is x1n circular convolution x2n का DFT होगा what? x1 के into x2 के, और you want to find out its value in time domain. So, it will be x3n is equal to circular convolution, obviously it will be x1m into x2 of n minus or x2m into x1 of n minus, because we know in convolution always commutative law is possible. चाहे हम x1n का कन्वोल्यूशन x2n से लें या x2n का x1n से लें, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, बिकॉज इट फॉलोज द कम्यूटेटिव लॉ हियर. So, this formula also you will get by this, and you can prove also here by the using of circular convolution. This proof is also available. Okay. Like Dhanpat Rai, book of Dhanpat Rai publication O.P. Verma. In O.P. Verma, all the proof of DFT are given in easy form, and another book also you will get the proof of all the properties, but I have no so much time here that I taught you every proof of the properties. Okay. So, you can prove this is your circular convolution property, this is very important property. Okay. In my next lectures, I will also told you about the questions of circular convolution between the two finite line sequences, because this circular convolution is only for using for DFT, whenever your sequence is of finite length and periodic. Next is circular correlation. Again you are having two sequences x1, xn and y. The DFT of x of n is capital Xk, and the DFT of y of n is having DFT capital Yk. So, the circular correlation between xn and yn, it means r x y l. R means correlation, circular correlation, x y मतलब x और y के बीच में, L इसका डिनोशन है. So, its DFT will be r x y k, and that is equal to x k into y of k का conjugate. Also you can prove this one also. How? You know r x y l is equal to summation n 0 to n minus 1 x n into y of conjugate n minus l with mod of n or with period of n. Okay. So, by applying the some properties here like circular convolution and correlation, you will get this expression easily. Okay. So, you can prove circular correlation also. In circular correlation, what? The signal the relation between the two signals. What relation? Circular correlation. This is the cross correlation you can say. Why? Because your both the signals are different. If the signals were same, okay, like we have to calculate RXS, so it will be autocorrelation, but the signal x and y are different here, so it will be cross correlation, and here we call circular correlation property. Now, multiplication of two sequences, similarly again the same thing is there, like two sequences x1 and x2n are given to you, and they are having the DFT of capital x1k and x2k. So, x1n x2n का DFT होगा 1 upon n x1k circular convolution of x2 of k. So, this is the normal form what that you know already. Okay. Next, Parseval theorem. So, you are having two signal xn and yn in terms of inputs and outputs. Xn DFT is x of k and yn is having DFT of y of k. So, as per the Parseval theorem, in terms of energy you can say what? Summation n 0 to n minus 1 x of n into y of conjugate n is equal to 1 upon n summation k 0 to n minus 1 x k into y of conjugate k. If your y n is equal to x n, the both signals input and outputs are same here. So, it relation will be in terms of this form, and generally it shows the energy. Okay. What I am writing here, this expression relates the energy in finite duration sequence x n to the power in frequency. This is your time domain, okay, energy. So, in time domain it shows the energy of the signal, and it is equal to, and it converts into power in frequency domain of finite length sequence, that you can understand here easily. Okay. Next, the question is derive the DFT of the sample data sequence x n is equal to 1 1 2 2 3 3. Now, you have to compute DFT here again and compute the corresponding amplitude and phase spectrum. So, that is very easy, one step is also, one extra step is here. Okay. So, again x of n is equal to given to you 1 1 2 2 3 3. So, you have to put arrow here, at 0 your x of n is equal to 1, then 1 2 2 3 3 is given to you. You know x of k, n point DFT x of k is equal to क्या होता है, summation n 0 to n minus 1 x of n into e to the power minus का j 2 pi k n by n for k 0 to n minus 1. Now, you are putting k is equal to 0. So, x of 0 is equal to summation n 0 to कहाँ से कहाँ तक जा रहे हैं हम 0 1 2 3 4 5. So, 0 to 5 and your capital N is equal to 6 because length of sequence is 6 here. So, capital X of 0 is equal to small x of n into e to the power minus ka j 2 pi because you are putting k is equal to 0. So, it will be 1. So, you have to add your x of n from 0 to 5 here and you will get 12. So, at 0 your x of k at 0 it was 12. Okay. Now, you have to put k is equal to 1. So, if you put in the same equation here k is equal to 1. So, capital X of 1 is equal to summation n 0 to 5 small x of n into e to the power minus ka j 2 pi your k is equal to 1 n by 6. Again you have to solve this. So, it will be summation from n 0 to 5 small x of n into e to the power minus ka j pi n by 3. Now, again you have to put the value here like 1 plus this, okay, n is equal to 0, n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you will get this one. Now, you have to solve this value e to the power this, e to the power this. You know, if you want to calculate e to the power minus ka j pi by 3, okay. So, it will be what again cos pi by 3 minus j sin pi by 3. Pi by 3 means 60 degree, cos 60 and sin 60. You know, if you calculate this cos 60 you know what cos 60 कितना होता है 1 upon 2 and sin 60 root 3 by 2. So, again you put the value here, again you can calculate this value will be you will get then this and after solving this you will get capital X of 1 is equal to minus 1.5 plus j 2.598. So, in this way you can calculate the value at k is equal to 1. Again you have to put k is equal to 2. So, if you put here k is equal to 2 you will get this one. So, x of 2 is equal to what minus ka 1.5 plus j 0.866. Again you have to put k is equal to 3. So, x of 3 is equal to, if you solve all the terms you will get it is equal to 0. So, x of 3 is equal to 0. Only you remember your formula e to the power what again I am writing here e to the power j theta plus minus is equal to cos theta plus minus j sin theta. So, easily you can calculate, if you know this formula easily you can calculate the terms here. In DFT your length is very critical and complicated, it is lengthy, that is why we will come on FFT, and here the role of FFT is very important, that is why we will see FFT and we will use fast Fourier transform. Now, k is equal to 4, again the same, by the same process you will get x of 4 is equal to what, this one, minus 1.5 minus j 0.86, and x of 5 is equal to again minus 1.5 minus j 2.58. Okay. So, in this way you are calculating your x of k, and if you see the value of x of k here, okay, at 0 it was 12, at 1 this one, at 2 it is this one, at 3 this one, at 4 and at 5. So, your values are repeated here, the terms, the numerical value of the your signals are repeated here, that also shows it is periodic. Okay. Now, you have to compute its corresponding amplitude spectrum and phase spectrum. Okay. So, amplitude means x of k you are getting this one. So, you have to calculate amplitude mod of this, you know the mod of 12 is 12. So, it will be 12, this for this under root minus 1.5 ka whole square plus minus 2.59 ka whole square, similarly for all the values, and you will get this one. So, this will be the value of your amplitude of your DFT. You can plot also. If we talk about the amplitude spectrum, so what was the amplitude spectrum? Amplitude spectrum means the mod of x of k and k, the graph between mod of x k and k, the graph between mod of x k versus k. K means discrete sample points in frequency, or you can consider frequency also. So, you can determine spectrum here also. Okay. So, you can draw also. Similarly, phase spectrum means what? It will be tan inverse imaginary part upon real part. So, then you can get tan inverse 0, tan inverse this one, tan inverse this one, and if you solve, then you will get this one. So, this will be angle or phase value of this your DFT that you are calculating here. It will be 0, at 0 it is 0, at 1 it will be minus pi by 3, okay. At 2 it will be minus pi by 6, then 0, pi by 6, pi, and this value also repeated here, numerically you can see here. Now, next question, find the n point DFT for x of n, and x of n is equal to a to the power n is given to you, where a lies between 0 to 1. So, you know n point DFT, what is the n point DFT? N point x of k is equal to summation n 0 to n minus 1 x of n into e की power minus का j 2 pi n k by n. So, 0 to n minus 1 x of n is equal to a to the power n into this. Now, you combine these both a into this to the power n. Now, you know this is this form a series that will be GP, geometric progression. So, if this is GP up to the n number you are saying capital N number of terms. So, you can apply the formula here and you will get answer in this term. Okay. So, your x of k is equal to here, if you apply this after applying the formula of GP for finite length. So, it will be 1 minus a to the power n upon 1 minus a e to the power minus j 2 pi k n by n, where k lies from 0 to n minus 1. So, now what? In this way easily you can calculate DFT and IDFT, there will be no problem, easily you can calculate. Okay. Next, circular convolution. In DFT, whenever your sequences are of finite length and periodic, then convolution will be circular. Now, for calculating the circular convolution, there are 3 methods here available. First is our graphical method, it means by the circle form. Graphical means here not linearly you can represent your signal, because these are of finite length and periodic. So, always you have to show your sequences in circle form. So, graphically means if you are representing your signal in circle form, circularly. सर्कुलर कन्वोल्यूशन ग्राफिकल मीन सर्कल के थ्रू हमें शिफ्टिंग दिखानी है, तो दैट कन्वोल्यूशन सर्कुलर कन्वोल्यूशन इज पॉसिबल बाय द ग्राफिकल मेथड। नेक्स्ट सिंपल आवर लीनियर कन्वोल्यूशन जो हमने पहले पढ़ा है। नेक्स्ट आवर डीएफटी एंड आईडीएफटी मेथड, इट मीन एक्स के और एक्स एन निकाल के। सो बाय दीज थ्री अवेलेबल मेथड्स you can calculate circular convolution between the two finite length sequences, two finite length discrete time sequences. Sequence मतलब discrete point, discrete time, हमेशा ध्यान रखो। Now linear convolution versus circular convolution, the difference. If you consider finite duration sequence xn of length of n1, which is given a input to an FIR system, finite duration impulse response system with impulse response Hn of length n2. Then output is given by how you can get output? You can give yn is equal to xn convolution of Hn. So, k 0 to n1 minus 1 xk into h of n minus k, you can use the formula here from n 0 to n1 plus n2 minus 1. Okay. Similarly, y of n is equal to h k into x n minus k, and it will be for the, this is for the n 1 length, this is for the n 2 length, but it goes till n 1 plus n 2 minus 1, that you should remember here. It means up to this length you have to calculate these values. Okay. Like मान लो दो सीक्वेंस हमारे पास, एक की लेंथ हमारी n1 4 है और एक की लेंथ n2 हमारी 5 है, तो यू हैव टू गो फ्रॉम 0 टू n1 प्लस n2 माइनस 1, 4 प्लस 5 माइनस 1, इट मीन्स 8. So, you have to go from 0 to 8 for all the sequence or for both the sequence, then you can calculate perfectly convolution here. Like frequency domain, you can say y omega is equal to h omega into x omega. Okay. If the sequence yn has to be represented uniquely in the frequency domain, so yk is equal to y omega, where omega is equal to 2 pi k by n. Similarly, you can write y of k is equal to x k into h k. So, if you want to calculate it by simple linear convolution, so it will be y of k is equal to x k into h k. It means you have to calculate DFT of x of n and DFT of h of n, then you can get the DFT of y of n. Here y n of n, and if you want further y of n here, so y of n is equal to, it will be IDFT of y k, and y k is equal to क्या था, डी वाई एन निकालना है आपको, so it will be IDFT of y k, and y k is equal to IDFT of x k into h k. So, what it concludes? It concludes the n point circular convolution of x n, which h n must be equivalent to linear convolution between the x n and h n, and you can calculate y of n is equal to IDFT of x k into h k, and these are my references. So, I hope it is clear to everybody how you calculate the DFT, IDFT, what is the meaning of convolution in DFT for finite duration sequences, and we prefer here circular convolution instead of linear convolution, but you can change, you can interpret it into its linear convolution also. Thank you very much. Goodbye.